come in?
Please come.
Good morning, sir.
Evening.
Good evening, sir.
Please sit.
Thank you.
Daisy is a flower.
Yes,
What
sir.
does it look like?
Sir, it's like a yellowish middle and white petals. It's found in many colors, but this is the most common form.
How many colors can you recall?
There's a combination of blue and red. There's also green. There's purple, yes, and violet.
How many petals does it have?
It varies. Normally, there are 5.
Here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I show you a picture of a daisy with many more petals, what would you say?
I would say it's possible, but the most common variety I've seen, even it's in my college, it's with 5.
Now, you seem to be very keen on joining the foreign service.
Yes.
What do you think foreign service officers do, especially at the junior levels?
So, at the junior levels, it's particularly the cultural interaction of India, trying to negotiate the India's position at global forums and things like trade and investments.
Then what do senior foreign service officers do?
So, senior officers, I believe, are directly involved with representing India at, for example, UNSC or bilateral conversations with important nations, while junior officers play a kind of a back part,
Kind of a?
like framing the negotiations and the speeches and cultural interaction of showing India's culture abroad.
Suppose you join the foreign service, what is the first posting you'll get as a probationer?
So we have 6 foreign languages. And
Posting. First posting as a probationer is called what?
I think it's under secretary.
It's third secretary.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, why are you getting, at your age, turning stoic?
So for me, stoicism is trying to seek mental clarity in all spaces of our life and try to approach challenges and situations with a reasoned approach.
But there could be so many other philosophies that can help you.
Yes, sir.
Why particularly stoicism?
So I was introduced to this philosophy by a friend and I started reading about it, and especially there's a book called The Daily Stoic, which has 1 lesson and 1 example for each day. I think it stuck to me as in when I completed my college life and even thereafter.
Okay. Now, my last question. Tell me 3 major successes of India's foreign policy from independence and 3 major failures.
So can I take a moment?
Yeah.
So for successes, I would say we maintained our strategic autonomy and a non-aligned.
That's too generic. Specific.
Okay. So I think we have emerged as a voice of voice of global South when we not only advocate our interests but all the interest of other developing and least developed countries also.
Okay.
Secondly is for example the 1971 Indo-Bangladesh war.
Indo-Bangladesh?
Indo-Pakistan war, I'm sorry. And thirdly, I believe how we have maintained relations with all the countries without taking one side as such. For example, we do not join any military alliance. But
Okay, 3 major failures.
So I think one would be the incursions at Pakistan and China borders. We couldn't really fight that well. For example, the 𝐸𝐶 area, it has been captured by China per se. Secondly, I think we could have done more in representing our culture abroad, and we could attract more and more tourism in India. And thirdly, I think we have quite a less free trade agreements, and we weren't able to quite integrate ourselves into the global value chains, just like how China did.
Yes, Daisy. You belong to Palwal, Haryana.
Yes.
You are coming from there?
Yes.
Or you stay in Delhi?
I came from Palwal.
What is Palwal famous for?
So it's basically it's believed that it's quite a bull town and its relation to the Mahabharat era. So I think the most famous thing there is the Panchvati, where it is believed that the Pandavas stayed during their exile.
Panchvati is associated with Ramayana, no? Panchvati, where Lord Rama stayed during his Vanvas.
Uh,
But is there Panchvati at Palwal also?
Yes, sir. As far as I've heard, it's where the five
Have you seen
Pandavas.
like that you belong to Palwal?
Yes,
so
sir.
have you tried to go and see?
There is a temple now,
Mhm.
and it's basically famous for Hanumanji. I've visited there once.
Okay. Anything else about where does it get its name from? Palwal is somewhat uncommon name.
Yes, sir. Sir, it's basically derived from the name of a demon called Palvasur, and it is
Okay.
believed that Lord Krishna's brother Balram killed Palvasur.
All right, all right. Your father has his own business, no? What business he is in?
Sir, it's the Indian suits.
Indian suits.
Yes, sir. Lady suits. Indian lady suits.
India?
Lady suits.
Yes.
Acha, acha. That means all stitching or what? Everything,
Unstitched,
start to finish. Acha, unstitched. Okay, very good. Okay, suppose you are posted in Africa in your first posting and Africa becomes your major posting. What will be your strategy to go ahead?
Sir, can I take a few?
Yeah, sure.
So one, I think we can sign agreements to increase India's exports to Africa. For example, we can help them for the technology transfers of new emerging technologies.
Does India have now projects in Africa, major countries? Which countries of Africa does India have good, close relations presently?
So one is South Africa.
Okay.
We have good relations with Egypt as well. Nigeria.
Nigeria, yes. Suppose you are posted to Botswana. Where is Botswana? What is the location?
So I believe it's in the northern part of
Northern.
Africa, it's the Sahel region.
Okay. So you'll concentrate on one thing is export from India.
Yes.
And what else?
So we can also collaborate for the climate change negotiations with African countries, because climate change is something which caters to both the nations. And thirdly, I think we can also try to negotiate agreements for the mineral resources, because Africa has a lot of mineral resources, especially the rare earth minerals, which India would require in the coming years.
Now the era is that China is controlling most of the business in Africa. That is there. So how India, from side of India, it is individual private industries which are doing some work. From government side, there is not much. So what will you do in this scenario?
So I believe China's approach is a wolf warrior diplomacy, and countries recently have started, for example, how Nepal was recently negotiating. So countries are recognizing that China is there for its own benefit. I think India can use its trust as a medium to collaborate with nations. So something like a cheap line of credits or some grants, collaborating on projects with less interest rates, so that we can get their trust in the long run.
Now, tell us one thing. In spite of India doing its best and trying to maintain an equal relation with its neighbors like Sri Lanka or Bangladesh or Nepal, they are still getting to the side of China, and there have been issues, including Maldives also in the beginning. So what is the reason?
So I believe it is primarily because China has a lot of money to offer, and countries are often in a need of more grants and more loans to be able to build their projects.
So it is through bribing that China is, but then in the end they are left high and dry. What happened to Sri Lanka was that only. Are they not seeing through it?
Sir, I do believe they are recognizing this. For example, when recently Prime Minister 𝐾𝐵 𝐂𝐿𝐿 visited China, he negotiated for more grants instead of loans from China. So I think it represents that countries are recognizing that the fact that China wants to take over their assets in the long run.
Okay, one quick last question. Now Trump has withdrawn from the climate change, climate finance and everything that. And India and Africa, suppose African countries demand finance from India for technologies like green hydrogen or solar wind. So what should India do in that case? Because that bigger finance is absent in the global finance fund. So what approach should India take?
So for India's part, I think India can offer technology transfer. We do have current technology for solar energy, for hydro projects, even for nuclear energy. I think we can help in that way. For finance, we can provide low interest rate soft loans to African nations. And for the bigger finance in the world, I feel the developing countries can actually negotiate with the civil society of developed world, because political representatives often represent the demands of the people. So if the people themselves realize that climate change is a difficult issue, and they might put pressure on their representatives to be able to again join back on.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Daisy, the value of rupee is going down. Do you think it's a cause for worry?
So I think we do have enough foreign exchange reserves as of now, that is $650 billion. And I think it's primarily happening because of the interest rate hike in US Treasury bonds. So in the short term, I do not feel it is a cause of worry.
Is this the explanation given by Government of India?
So I'm not aware of the official explanation, but the interest rate hikes in US Treasury bonds happened primarily after the President Donald Trump's election. So I think that is why the foreign investments are flowing away from India into US.
This our economy. How is the status of our economy?
So while we have a lot of opportunities, we see that the growth rates are still around 6 to 7%. I think
indicators. What are the indicators?
So one is the GDP growth rates. Secondly, the inflation level.
Where do we stand in GDP growth rate?
The recent estimates stated 6.4%. Sir.
Is it better than before or less than before?
It is lower than before. Sir.
Lower. What else?
So second is the inflation levels, which are still high around 6%, and which are primarily because of the vegetable inflation currently. Thirdly are the repo rate.
Industrial development, industrial output.
Yes, sir. Sir, the PMI index recently showed that the manufacturing sector is still slow growth.
Okay, so this could be the indicator. Okay, we talked about number of petals in daisy.
Yes, sir.
And you said that it is 5. Suppose more than 5. Can it be 6?
Yes, sir.
7?
I'm not sure, sir.
Can it be there?
So it can be there for sure, because it's like a very common flower. It's found in Europe. It's found in India.
Okay, so next time you count it. Huh?
Okay.
If it is, if
That's
it's
exactly what I asked.
No, there is one reply to this, just outside of it, if you permit. Like there is a tree called Saptaparni. So its leaves is supposed to have 7 corners. But then I tried to examine leaves. Some of them have 8 or 9 also. So it is a natural thing, and nature finds its own way. So it is not a fixed rule that these many and not more in nature. That is simple answer.
So try to find it out. If it is not 5, most likely it will be 8.
Okay, sir.
And if it is not 8, then it will be 13.
Okay, sir.
Something like that. So find out how it is.
Okay.
It's a principle of nature, which is your interest. So check up how many it is. It's very interesting.
I'll read about it.
Thank you.
So Daisy, in the about 10-15 days back, there was an international conference held in Bhubaneswar, Odisha. What was that?
So it was the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas.
Okay, what did it do?
It was basically catering to the Indian diaspora outside India, and it aimed to attract trade, attract tourism in India, and to reward Indian diaspora who are working to expand India's culture abroad.
Okay, very good. Why is it held every year in the month of January?
I'm not very sure, sir. I'll read about it.
Okay. What is the size of Indian diaspora abroad in your opinion?
So around 30 million.
30 million. Around 30 million.
Yes.
All right. Which country has the largest Indian diaspora?
So for the area, it's West Asia. I'm not very sure of the country.
No.
Okay, sir. I'll check it.
It's US.
Okay, sir.
Next question. We have some problem with China along the international border. What are the problems with China? Border disputes with China? Where all, which sector, and what exactly is the problem?
So starting from the western sector, the 𝐘𝐚𝐬 area is an Indian territory, but it has been controlled by China as of now. For the middle part, there was a Doklam standoff.
One by one. So, do we have an international border there?
No, sir.
We don't have.
No, sir.
What do we have?
So the line of actual control.
LAC.
Yes.
Good. In the middle sector?
So the bordering of the border of Bhutan and Sikkim. So basically, the Doklam standoff in 2017 took place there in the Chumbi Valley. China is trying to build infrastructure near the Siliguri corridor, which
No,
is
that's
quite
fine. Do we have a dispute there?
India does not have a direct dispute, but India supports the Royal Bhutanese Army in their control.
Eastern sector?
So for Arunachal Pradesh, China basically claims it a part of their own territory, and they have even renamed places in Arunachal Pradesh.
What does China say?
It is part of their five-finger approach, and they consider that whole area to be their territory. They also create issues whenever someone from Arunachal Pradesh flies to China, the staple visas.
They say it's South Tibet.
Okay, sir.
No, I'm asking you. There's something called South Tibet. That is why they issue stapled visa. Right? What is McMahon line?
So I think it is in the western sector only. I'm a bit confused, sir. I'll read about it.
It's in the eastern sector.
Okay, sir.
So there is no point in asking who was McMahon. All right. My next question, why is Chabahar become important?
So because Pakistan is not granting India access to Central Asian countries, we need to invest in the...
But we do have, as per our map, we do have access to Central Asian countries, access to Afghanistan.
Yes, sir. But that area is primarily controlled by Pakistan as of now. So we do not have a direct control today. So Chabahar port becomes important, one, to have access to Central Asia, and secondly also to have a counter to China's strategy in Indian Ocean, so that India retains its maritime power in the Indian Ocean.
All right. What is China doing?
So China is primarily investing in a lot of ports with various countries. It's string of pearl policy, and it also has a
Which port in Pakistan?
It's the Gwadar port, sir.
But China has invested in Chabahar also.
I was not aware of it, sir.
Yes, it has. And what do we do after we have invested in Chabahar? From Chabahar, where do we propose to go?
So basically, we want to connect Iran to Afghanistan and then to Central Asia and Russia. The 𝐷-Zaranj highway in Afghanistan, we were building, although the investments are stalled now due to the Taliban takeover.
And now we are opening up to Taliban unofficially.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Sir, I believe that India has still not formally recognized Taliban, but unofficial negotiations are still important in order to continue with our infrastructure, and secondly to provide humanitarian
It's much
aid.
more than unofficial, because our foreign secretary met the Afghanistan deputy foreign minister somewhere in the Middle East.
Yes.
Foreign secretary meeting cannot be unofficial.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think it is also kind of a response to how other nations have started engaging with Taliban. So we wouldn't really want to be neglected because Afghanistan is a crucial
All right.
part.
My last question. Why would India want to open up to Taliban? Give 4 or 5 solid reasons.
So one, I believe, is to continue the aid we provide to Afghan people. Secondly is the connectivity towards Central Asia and Afghanistan. Thirdly is also that Afghanistan wanted to become a part of China's BRI. So I think India could act as an alternative there. Fourthly, I believe that we can also increase trade with Europe and Asia through the INSTC corridor, sir. That's all, sir.
See, I'll mention 2 points. One is, for wanting to go to Central Asia, Afghanistan is not the only option. If you see the map of Iran from Chabahar, you can go to Central Asia without going to Afghanistan. Look at the map carefully. Through Azerbaijan, Baku, you must have read about the climate change meeting took place there, etc., etc. And secondly, enemy of the enemy is a friend.
Yes.
So now we are finding that Afghanistan, Talibans have become can become more acceptable to us. Why? You can think over it and understand.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Daisy, how did it go?
Sir, it was fine. I could do a lot better.
I think you're supremely confident. You're very ready to answer always. Some answers could have been a bit shorter. That's the only thing that I need to point out. And the second thing, I asked you the petals of a daisy for a reason. How are you so sure it has 7?
Sir, I think I've seen that 5 petals one in my college, and I just assume it generally has 5.
A daisy has a minimum of a dozen petals
Okay.
and goes up to 3 dozen. I'm surprised that your name is Daisy, and that's the first thing I would have done. If I named her Daisy, I would have checked how many petals the flower has.
I'll read about it.
Huh?
I'll read more about it, sir.
And I asked you, are you sure? You said you're sure. He said something, you're still sure. You don't have to read. Come here. And then I cross-checked.
Okay, sir.
This is what a daisy looks like. Colors you were right, petals you were wrong.
Okay, sir.
But it was
Up to 32 petals.
It's up to 32. From 12 or 13, it goes up to 32 or 36 petals. It was a good interview. I really have nothing much to say. Some answers could be shorter. And don't be dead sure without being dead sure,
Okay, sir.
obviously.
Yeah, Daisy, you are a good candidate, with your youth and enthusiasm, but you should not surge into the field without knowing. So just take care. Otherwise, you are fine, and you have lot of time to prepare, on the depth and knowledge gap. So that you should. Okay, DAF and other things you check, and don't guess or try to mislead.
Okay, sir.
Okay, all right. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
इकोनॉमिक्स को आप छोड़िए नहीं, एक बार दोबारा पढ़ लीजिए. अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशन से आपने इकोनॉमिक्स से पढ़ाई की है, इसलिए हो सकता है उसी स्टैंडर्ड से, उसी कॉलेज के स्टैंडर्ड से आपसे सवाल पूछा जाएगा.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है?
Daisy, your interview is on 11th of April.
Yes.
It's plenty of time, right? Use this time to revise, re-revise your entire, subjects. The questions in interview board will come from the place you come from, which is Palwal, the subject with which you studied, which is economics, your optional, what is that?
Economics, sir.
Economics. So 2 and 3 economics, 4 DAF, whatever you have written as your habits, etc., hobbies, and last current affairs. Which newspaper do you read?
So Indian Express and Business Standard.
Business Standard. Add one more newspaper, English Daily, maybe Hindu, your choice. Read these newspapers every day religiously till the morning of the interview. Okay? This will take care of your current affairs. And the subjects which I mentioned, think of the questions that might come from there. Maybe 100 of questions. Prepare short answers, 2-3 lines. The chairman has said no long answers. Very right. Short, crisp, and to the point answers.
Yes.
Prepare, read it, reread it. So when the your interview comes, you will have mastered your entire thing, revise your entire syllabus once again. You will have absolutely no problems. You know, you are an excellent candidate. You come at such a young age. We all want you to succeed and see you in the list of successful candidates. Good luck to you, Daisy.
Thank you, sir.
All the best. You're good.
Yes.
All the best.